Are you ready to take your research and lesson planning to the next level? NotebookLM just released some updates that made it more interactive and more user-friendly. In this video, we're going to explore the new interface, how to create a notebook, and the new interactive podcast feature. So let's dive in. Before we do that though, let's talk about what NotebookLM really is. Think of it as a tool that lets you create your own AI-powered chatbots that are powered with the resources and documents that you upload. Essentially, your own ChatGPT. You can add Google Docs, you can upload a PDF, you can copy and paste text, you can also add YouTube video links, and then be able to interact and chat with that chatbot to get insights and information based on those sources and those documents as your own custom chatbot. So let's take a look at NotebookLM, what's new, and start building our first notebook. The first thing we're going to do is navigate to notebooklm.google.com. I'm logged in already, but let's go ahead and log in if you haven't already done so. I'm into one of my notebooks, and the first thing that you'll notice is the redesigned interface. It's now structured into three main panels. On the left, we have our sources panel. In the middle, we now have our chat panel, and this is where after you add your sources, you can then chat with your AI-powered chatbot that you just created. And on the right, you can enter the studio. So in the studio, this is where you can generate content like study guides, summaries, briefing docs, and things like that, including a podcast. So that's actually pretty cool. That's the navigation of the NotebookLM platform. Let's create our first notebook. Creating a notebook in NotebookLM is super simple. Just click on the Create New button. And once we do that, we can go ahead and start pulling in our sources. However, if you're not ready to pull in those sources, you can go ahead and close it. And let's go ahead and name it. I'm going to call this one Apple Fritters because that's what this one's all about. And now I'm going to go ahead and go to my panel on the left for sources, and I'm going to add sources. So this is where we can add things like Google Docs, PDFs, YouTube videos, and websites and things like that. I'm going to go ahead and upload a PDF that I found. So I've uploaded my PDF on Apple Fritters. I'm going to keep adding some more sources here. I'm going to go ahead and pull in this website. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that link and go to website and go ahead and add that in. And remember, we are building our very own chatbot that's only going to pull from the sources that we have. Let's keep adding a couple other sources here. I've also got a YouTube video for some apple fritter recipes. So I've built my source library with 3 things to pull from. So as I interact and chat with the chatbot here in the middle, it is only going to pull from these 3 sources. So I'm going to go ahead and start the chat. So I asked it a question and it is pulling information from my sources and even noting them. So source 1, that's pulling from source 1. And so on and so forth. I can add this to one of my notes here on the right as well, but I'm not going to do that. But this is where you will actually get information and ask questions of your new chatbot in NotebookLM. One of the most powerful features of NotebookLM is their interactive podcast. You can actually have it create a podcast based on your sources. I know it's crazy. It's an AI-powered podcast. Not only that, they've taken it a step further by making it interactive. What does that mean? Well, you can actually ask it questions in real time during the podcast, and it'll stop and answer those questions in the process and have it sound like a natural conversation. It's crazy. Let's check it out and let's actually build our first podcast audio overview in NotebookLM. To build our podcast in NotebookLM, let's head over to the studio and click on Generate. Now remember, it's building this podcast based off of the sources that you fed it. It is not going to the internet to research. You have to feed it the information from the sources in order for it to build a podcast. And this process might take a couple minutes, so be patient.
All right, so get this. Today we are going deep into a world of like crispy, doughy apple cinnamon. You know?
You got it.
Goodness, because today's deep dive is all about apple fritters.
Sounds delicious.
I know, right?
Crazy, right? Sounds real lifelike. And as a podcaster, makes me a little nervous. Now let's take it a step further by clicking on the interactive mode and actually joining the conversation and asking it a question.
All right, so get this. Today we are going deep, deep, deep into a world of like crispy, doughy apple cinnamon,
You got it.
Whoa, did someone just break the fourth wall? Let's hear it.
How many calories are in an apple fritter donut?
Based on that nutrition document we have,
Yeah.
1 apple fritter, and we're talking about an 85-gram serving.
Okay.
Clocks in at around 320 calories.
That's good to know. And it's important to remember
Right.
that number can vary depending on the size.
So if you've never used NotebookLM, what you think? If you've used it before, but maybe weren't aware of that new interactive feature, what are your thoughts? NotebookLM, as with any other tool, is all about how you use it. So with that being said, how will you use this to create lesson plans, differentiate instruction, maybe get some more information about articles or anything that you might want to be teaching specific to content or pedagogy? Let me know in the comments how you plan on utilizing NotebookLM. And if you found this video useful, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That way you get notified when new videos like this are published. Thanks for watching. Hope to catch you on the next one, and I can't wait to hear how you are going to be utilizing NotebookLM.